Hello, dear students. Today we are going to study about matter around us. And here I welcome you for the first session. And in this session, we are going to study few points like matter around us, then what is mixture, then we will study types of mixture, and along with that, properties of different types of mixtures. Now, dear students, when we are moving around, that time we can see there are different types of matter present around us like air, water, soil, sugar, salt, iron, plastic, etc. Now, these are the different forms of matter. Let's take example of air. You know that we breathe in and out air every day. This air is made up of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. Along with that, we have smoke and dust particles in it. Now, this means that air is made up of many different components, and these different components make air a mixture, and it is not a pure substance. So you must have understood that when a substance is made up of more than one matter, it is called as mixture. Now students, let's take another example. Can you identify this? Here we are having sugar, and this sugar, when we test it, its every particle tastes sweet. It means that sugar is made up of all same type of particles, and that's why sugar is pure. Here example of mixture is milk, ink, etc. While few more examples of pure matter are salt or water. Now dear students, we are going to study about mixture in detail. So here comes mixture. Mixture is a substance which is made up from more than one pure matter. And when we study about mixture, it can be of two types. When this more than one pure matter coming together, if they mix uniformly throughout their bulk, then they are called as homogeneous mixture. And suppose these pure matter, they are not going to mix with each other uniformly, then obviously they will called as heterogeneous mixture. So students, you have studied about the two types of mixture. First is homogeneous mixture and second is heterogeneous mixture. Now dear students, homogeneous mixtures are like solution. They are solution type, and heterogeneous mixture show two types again. So here the first is colloidal solution and second is suspension. Now dear students, we will take examples of solution, colloidal solution and suspension. Here for solution we have example of salt water, also sugar and water. While here we are having example of sand and water and mud and water. We are having one diagram here representing our solutions. Here we are having first example in which some sand particles are added to water. Now what happens students? You can see sand particles deposited at the bottom of this solution or this mixture, and as we can identify separate existence of water and of sand particles in this mixture, it is called as heterogeneous mixture because they are not mixed uniformly. Now let's take second example. Here we are having sugar molecules that we are adding to water. And when we form this mixture, in this mixture, sugar molecule is spread throughout the bulk of water uniformly. So this is called as homogeneous mixture. So students, in homogeneous mixture, mixture's component mix uniformly, and in heterogeneous, they are not mixed uniformly. Now let's study ahead. Here students, we are having one salt water Along with that, we are having milk and water and also mud and water. Now, let's take their explanation. Here, salt water is an example of solution. In solution, we have solvent which is gets mixed with solute. Always remember solvent quantity is more. Here solvent is water and solute quantity is small and here solute is salt. Now dear students, solute gets dissolved in solvent. You have to remember when you are thinking about solution, it is a uniform mixture, homogeneous mixture and solute gets completely dissolved in solvent. Now let's take next explanation of milk and water. This is a colloidal solution where we are having dispersing medium and dispersed phase. And here students, in this example, water is dispersing medium in which milk has got dispersed. Here, the particles of milk are being suspended uniformly throughout the solution, but they are not dissolved. They are suspended. That's why this is called as colloidal solution. Now let's go for the mud and water. Here, when we are thinking about mud and water, this solution is called as suspension. In this, solvent and solute mix with each other. Here solvent is water and solute is mud. And here the particles of solute, they are not going to dissolve in the solvent. They will settle down at the bottom and will show separate existence in the solvent. So such type of mixtures are called as suspension. Here, solution is homogeneous mixture which is uniformly mixed. Colloidal solution and suspension, they are heterogeneous mixture which are not uniformly mixed, but the particles remain suspended. We have to remember this. Now let's move ahead. Here, we are going to understand about one concept that is called as concentration. And to understand this concentration concept, you must understand the proportion of solute and solvent. So students, we will take one example here. We are having again sugar solution, and in this sugar solution, sugar is added to water. Sometimes we can say that sugar solution is concentrated when it is more sweet. And sometimes we can say that sugar solution is dilute when it is less sweet. Now, you can understand the quantity or proportion of sugar and water decides this concentrated concept or this dilute concept. Both the terms are relative to each other. Now, dear students, we cannot tell that this solution is more concentrated or less concentrated. We cannot say that it is less dilute or more dilute. We need to know the exact concentration of the solution, and the way of telling the exact concentration is called as methods to write concentration. There are many different methods. Here we are having few formulas which can give us exact concentration of the solution. So here we are having first formula, that is mass by mass percentage of solution. Here we are using mass of solute and mass of solution, and we are calculating the concentration. So when mass of solute is divided by mass of solution, we multiply with 100 and we will get the concentration of that solution. Now in second formula, we are using volume and mass both. Here, mass by volume percentage of a solution method. And in this we use mass of solute and volume of solution to calculate the concentration. When we divide mass of solute by volume of solution and multiply it by 100, we will get concentration of that particular solution. Then dear students, we are having third method, that is volume by volume percentage of a solution. Here we are using both the quantities in volume, that is volume of solute and volume of solution. When we multiply it with 100, we are getting concentration. So dear students, here we have studied concept of concentration, that proportion of a solute and solvent is called as concentration of that solution, and we can calculate it with different methods. Now let's take one example or sum on this concept. Here I will read these examples, students. The example is, a solution contains 40 gram of common salt in 320 gram of water. Calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage of the solution. In this question, they have asked us concentration of solution, and that to be derived by using mass by mass percentage formula. Now dear students, what is given in this question? The given is mass of solute, that is salt, is 40 gram. Then mass of solvent, that is of water, is given 320 gram. Now we know the formula and we need to calculate the mass of solution. So here mass of solute plus mass of solvent gives us 360 gram of the mass of solution. Now let's write the formula and put up the values. So here mass of solute is given 40 gram. The mass of solution we calculated 360 gram. When we take their ratio, we multiply it with 100 and the answer we will get is 11.1%. Dear students, we always tell concentration in percentage. Please remember this. Now along with this, we will move further. We will move ahead towards our next point, that is properties of mixture. Dear student, first of all we will study about solution, and in this we already know that homogeneous mixtures, that is uniformly mixed mixtures, are called as solution. In this, as solute completely dissolves in solvent, the particles are very small, and when beam of light passes through this solution, it passes very easily. It will not disperse or it will not scatter. These solutions are called as stable. Stable means when this solution we keep undisturbed for some time, then there will be no precipitate formation. No substance will deposit at the bottom. Such solutions, such mixtures are called as stable. Now here, when we want to separate the components of this solution or homogeneous mixture, we need special techniques to separate the components. Now dear students, we are having properties of colloidal solution. Colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture, and here particles are small in size but they are suspended in it, and that's why they can scatter the light beam when it is going to pass through it, and because of that we can see light path visible in this heterogeneous solution or colloidal solution. These solutions are quite stable, means particles are not being deposited at the bottom when kept undisturbed, but they will be suspended throughout the bulk. So it is called as quite stable. Now the techniques like centrifugation is needed for the separation of components of colloidal solution. Now students, we have studied about homogeneous solution, heterogeneous colloidal solution. Let's study about the suspension. Suspension is also a heterogeneous solution. In this, particles can be seen with our eyes, and as their size is big, the path of light will be visible as light beam gets scattered because of these particles. This suspension or heterogeneous mixture is not stable. That is, it is unstable and it will form precipitate at the bottom of the container. Now, there are techniques like filtration with which we can separate the components of suspension. Now, students, Let's have an example of the concept related to the light path visible when light beam passes through the solution. Here students, you can see a flashlight and we are having solution, colloidal solution and suspension in three different containers. Now when we are using flashlight, it passes through the solution. As the particle size is very small, light passes through the solution easily and we cannot see light in that container. But if you will observe colloid and suspension, as particles are suspended in the bulk of that mixture, these particles scatter the light and we can see the light path visible inside the solution. Now dear students, this effect of these scattered or suspended particles in the solution or mixture, we call it as Tindol effect. And this Tindol effect we can observe in our daily life also. When light beam passes through the air and if air is having dust particles in it, we can visualize the path of light and scattering of light can be seen. Now dear students, we are going to understand different types of colloidal solution. Here we are having one table in which we have shown dispersed phase and dispersed medium and the type of that colloidal solution and its examples. You can see there is liquid into gas. Here we are having its type as aerosol colloidal solution. Examples are fog, clouds, mist, etc. You can pause this video and you can note down all the different types of these colloidal solutions. Here you can see that the colloidal solution can be liquid and gas, then solid and gas can be there, gas and liquid can be there. Also we are having liquid and liquid, solid with liquid, gas with solid, liquid with solid and solid with solid. So these are the different types of colloidal solution. Along with that, we are having their names also. For example, here we are having gas as dispersed phase and getting dispersed into the liquid medium. Then we call it as foam. The example of this foam is shaving cream. So students, these are the different types of colloidal solution. Always remember, colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture. Now dear students, moving ahead, what we have studied today? We have studied about matter around us and it can be divided into pure and mixture. These are the two types. So we have studied about mixture in this session. We also studied about the types of mixture, that is homogeneous and heterogeneous, and along with that we have studied the properties of different types of mixtures like solution, colloidal solution and suspension, and also we studied Tindol effect. So dear students, you can solve question number 2 to question number 9 from your exercise. Dear students, take care until the next session. Thank you.